Well, let's take a virtual look at the golf swing of the 2020 Masters champion, Dustin Johnson, world #1. And what a golf swing it is, what a driver of the golf ball. And we're going to bring him from Augusta National right here into the Sky Sports Golf studio with the driver as well. Why is he such a great driver and why is he so powerful? Where does the speed come from? So that's what we're going to talk about today. And we've got him here in a dress position, beautifully athletic in how he stood to the golf ball, ready, locked and loaded to take that club back and apply the speed we're talking about. Where does it come from? So we're going to send him all the way up to the top of his backswing first of all. He's a tall guy, 6'4", so the height helps him. But really what's super important with terms of speed is the size of the arc. So the turn all the way up, tracing the club to the top of that backswing. The size of that arc is what generates the speed. The outside of the circle is the fastest moving part, and the bigger the circle, the faster the outside is moving. So hence you can see with his height, with the length of his arms, with the width he creates in his golf swing, there's going to be a lot of speed there that's applied on the way down through this golf swing. So wonderful coil to the top, and also you can see with how he has no resistance in that right hip. He allows them to turn in the backswing, the old way of swinging, of holding the knees forward and trying to resist against that right leg in the backswing. No longer for these guys that can really shift it. Loads it into that right side without swaying off the golf ball, stays lovely and centered, big coil, and that means that when he gets to the top of that backswing, his shoulder turn is well beyond 90 degrees, more like 120 because of the aid from the hips as well. Great for longevity in our sport. So let's head on behind him to take another look at the aspects of why he has so much speed. He's got a wonderful position at the top there. That thing is going to be sent, bro, as Dustin would put it. And one of the things there that we have that's synonymous with Dustin Johnson is, of course, that grip. And it is the left hand at the top of the backswing that is one of the keys to it. So if we just come on in here and have a nice close-up look at that bow in the left hand. Now that would have been changed 20 years ago. Without doubt, when I was growing up, teachers were trying to change that sort of thing. But we've realised now that with the biomechanics and how the guys can move this weight, which is the golf club, around their body with force, actually this isn't a bad way to do it, because what it does, that grip, if we move along that shaft towards the club face, he also applies a really strong club face. So the club face matches up with that grip. So it's closed, it's looking up at the sky. Back in the day, a lot of players would have liked to have seen it with the toe hanging more down towards the ground. That's not the way of the modern day professional, because it allows them to use their strength, their middle, their core. And these guys are athletes now. So he's got this wonderful coil all the way up to the top of the backswing. It's how he uses that club face though, and that bow in that grip, to get the power. That's the important thing for Dustin Johnson. So to see that, we're going to send you behind, because if he doesn't keep turning through strike, this ball will set out left and go further left as the arms snap over in front of him, especially with so much strength in that club face. One of the things that we see time and time again with the great players in the game is the shallowing of the club. This is what it looks like, folks. So you can see as he changes direction here, the club lays down, and he matches that up with a lot of turn as well through strike. And you can see even from down the line here how open he is with those hips, and he hasn't even managed to get to strike yet with the club face. The club starting to lay down as he rotates and inspiring the aggressive turn with the middle. There comes the next bit of power. He is an athlete. He is super strong through his core, and he's getting to use that. Rather than having to wait and throw those hands and arms at it, he can just turn, 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 turn. That is the secret to Dustin Johnson. So let's come on around the front here and have a little look at it. Don't take my word for it. Let's look at it face on, and you'll see just how much he is managing to, even before he strikes the ball, snap that left leg out of the way. Super aggressive in that rotation. You can see the key for him is that he keeps rotating, but also side bending to be able to unload that club with strength. So it's super square through strike. He hasn't got to time this. He's got to stay aggressive. Ironically for Dustin, as I make sure you come up here and see from face on exactly what he can see hitting towards you, he has to keep moving. If he stops moving, the ball will go left. Now, in the last few weeks, he hasn't played his best. He's had a few misses to that left-hand side. He hates to see that. And the reason he hates it is because his swing relies on him being aggressive in his turn left. He's only human, though, just like us. So if the ball's going left and he doesn't want it to go left, there's nothing instinctually that makes me want to turn more that way. So understandably, that's the catch-22 that even the world #1 occasionally finds himself in. Let's send him on through to the finish and finish on a positive note, because it should be, because this is a golf swing to die for. It is absolutely stunning. The fundamentals are superb. It would have been changed years ago, but now we understand more. we know it's world class. We know it's a great way to deliver consistency, not just with the driver, but with the wedges too. One of the strengths of his game: power, composure, a true athlete. And with 5 wins in the last 10 months, the world number 1, the Masters champion, it's a golf swing that clearly works.